Just like the song says, a story as old as time itself. Well, at least 44 years. It was in 1991 that Disney animated film based on a French fairy tale premiered, becoming one of the most successful animated films of all time, winning 2 Oscars and even being nominated for the best film. In the Lego Disney universe, it is also one of the most represented films of all time, with its characters, mainly Belle, being included in more than 10 sets, mainly with mini dolls or micro dolls. In 2024, in set Magic of Disney, the first Belle minifigure appeared, which soon brought a lot of buzz around. And now we finally have an 80 plus castle for this fantastic theme, and of course, in minifigures. It is the fourth largest set in the Lego Disney theme, and its designer is Ryan Van Workum, who is also responsible for the fifth largest, the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs Cottage, and the first Disney Castle. As a curiosity, the other two in the top 5 are the first Disney Castle and the Disney Train and Station, both by the Portuguese Marcos Bessa. But enough about Lego history, let's get to what really matters, the set. The 43263 Beauty and the Beast Castle set contains 2,916 elements and a retail price of €280 or dollars, equivalent to a price per piece of 9.6 cents, an acceptable price for a licensed set of this size, especially Disney, despite having many small pieces. The building process is sequential and is divided into instruction books and 21 bags. In the first book, we assemble the complete lower floor and the 2 towers, including the ballroom. Starting with what fans wanted the most for this theme, minifigures. Or rather characters, since in this set many of them are brick-built, and in total, according with the set's description, we have 10, although I counted 3 more. Let's start with Belle, with an outfit very similar to the one that came out in 2024, the Magic of Disney set, with a few slight changes, like sparkling prints. The arms are double printed and the skirt and torso have impressions on the front and back, a feature in all the minifigures. Also, in all of them, the heads are dual-faced. As an accessory, the common book with the Once Upon a Time tile. Although it was expected, but considering that there was a very similar minifigure, I would have liked to see the blue village outfit, as happened in some sets with mini dolls. And this was something that was actually considered but abandoned along the way. Moving on to the beast, I don't have one for a comparison, but I believe the headgear is the same one that appeared last time as a mini doll. However, the torso is beautiful, and I see it being used in other themes like Castle and Pirates. The legs have a double print, there is an element for the tail and a head with 2 faces, as Beast can be arranged as Prince Adam, adding the hair element hidden in a sector of the castle. As an accessory we have the magic mirror with a printed 2x2 round tile, and without any character reflected, which is great for recreating several scenes from the film. We have Maurice, an excellent surprise. Medium legs in dark green, a new torso I think, with prints on the back and front, and a head with new prints, including a terrified expression, and I love the moustache. As an accessory, a lamp. Gaston, here with exactly the same elements as the villain set figure from a few years ago, and I really like the curved pattern on the legs and the gloves, the double-sided head, and as accessories, he has the bow and arrow. Another surprise debut, LeFou. It has small legs, a new torso and face, with great faces on both sides, and as an accessory, a torch. Then we have an incredible army of brick-built characters which, according to the designer, were some of the builds that gave him the most satisfaction, and all the decorated elements on these are printed elements. We have Lumiere with the same design as in other sets, Fifi, I believe with a new printed element, Cogsworth, for me one of the best characters in this set, although in reality he's a little bit compared to the real one. We have the iconic ship and Mr. Spots placed on a side table, and I believe that they use the same prints as in other sets as well. And although they are not mentioned in the official description of the set, I identified 3 more extras. Sultan, the dog, as a footstool, Madame Armoire, the wardrobe, and Chef Bush, all of them with new configurations. These are included in the room decorations. I think all the most important characters from the animated film are included. Maybe the horse Philippe or the boxer Hanger could be part of it, and after talking to Ryan, I know that the last one was actually considered, but honestly, I'm quite happy with the choice. So let's go to the most important thing, the castle. I had the opportunity to participate in a questions and answers session with the designer, and this build went through several changes during its development process. There were several versions with slight differences, but three were significantly different. Things like the gate in an outer wall, or a scene representing the snowball fight between Belle and Beast, and different castle settings. In the end, this was a final version, less wide and more taller, in order to highlight the height that the original model had. One of the difficulties arose from the fact that there isn't that much supporting material besides the theme parks and, of course, the film. And even this sometimes doesn't follow the same logic, leaving doubts about the true location of some rooms and places. The color itself was also the focus of several experiments, such as white and gray, but in the end a more lavender tone was chosen, as in the film it sometimes appears to have a marble-like color with red roofs, and after the spell it changes to a more bluish tone. In order to break the monotony of such color, there are several details with other colors to give more contrasts, such as tan, sand green, and even gray, and of course, the roofs in dark red. The several pattern elements and mini builds also help. The front of the castle features a staircase with a door with two lion statues next to it, each with an eagle on top of his head. Above the door there is a shield with a coat of arms, a sticker, with a rose, a lion, and three clubs, and also four ornaments modeling the head of a bull. On the sides we have two towers in snot, with mixtures of grey and lavender, the latter being the predominant color. These do not have the same height as the one on the right is a brick shorter, and as these structures have nothing inside, no space, it was not necessary to place real windows, and these were replicated with printed, yes, 2 by 4 tiles. Throughout the castle and the several floors, there are a few balconies where some scenes can be recreated, such as the final fight between Beast and Gaston. The tiles with studs scattered around show some places where the figures can be placed, but there are also other pieces that can be used or for placing or holding them, like these. Several details decorate the roofs, the balconies, and the two towers, including more eagles. And I also emphasize the modified 1 by 1 bricks on the tallest tower, implying some smaller windows in order to give a greater sensation of depth. At the top, a sticker on a panel with a Lego representation of the stained glass window that appears when the film ends. Now for the even more interesting elements. On the left side, these beautiful printed curved panels identify the ballroom. Below we can see the mechanism that puts the room's floor into operation, practically the same system used in the Disney castle, which also makes perfect sense here to represent the last scene of the film. Obviously the size of the hall has to be much smaller in order to optimize the interior as much as possible, but it still contains excellent details such as the columns, the curtains, and the beautiful chandelier on the ceiling. In the center, the huge staircase. But first, a cool detail. It is detachable from the rest of the set, and according to Ryan, this was done thinking about making this section a display stand where some of the characters can be placed, but also to be able to change the view of the section. From the front, as it will be in reality, where you open the doors and you immediately see the steps, or facing the back where you can play with it. I love the detail of the handrail, the eagles on the pillars, the curtains, and the snot way steps are placed. On the back, a beautiful sticker representing the window at the top of the stairs and the starry sky. Still, on that floor, two doors next to the stairs, which led to the void, since the towers have no interior or even space. It still allows the placement of figures and can be used, for example, as the entrance for the prison where Maurice was incarcerated. Above, the kitchen, with three elements at the bottom: a sink, a cupboard with dishes where sheep slept, and a stove, Chef Bush. In front of them, a large table with plates, drinks, and food, and a huge lamp clinging into one of them, although in a disguised way. And there is also a feature here that allows them to rotate in order to represent a scene in which Bella eats at the table with the enchanted objects, even tasting the grey stuff, a new recolor of the ice cream piece. There is a chair here where Belle figures can sit, but how? I'll explain upstairs. In this, you'll find one of the most memorable areas of the film, the large library. Here, obviously, resides, but with a wall full of books and a cozy ornate fireplace. Above, a painting that also appears in the film with what seems to be the Disney castle. And that's exactly what the design team recreated, although in the film it's not guaranteed to be the Disney one, especially because it also shows a palm tree. On the right side, a globe, and on the left side, another brick built character, Madame Armoire. It is true that the placement of this may seem a little strange in this area, but in order to have all these rooms, some have been cut out, namely Beast and Bells. Still, it opens and reveals a piece of clothing, brick built, which can be exchanged for Belle's skirt, allowing her to sit on the sofa or armchair by the fireplace or on the kitchen chair. And if you want, you can bring the armchair from above and sit Beast on the other side. This technique had already been used in the Rivendell set, and it works beautifully here too. Finally, in the highest tower, the room where the iconic rose is kept, with enough space and studs to place the romantic couple. On the right side, there's a last sticker with a half-ripped image of the prince, a painting that appears in the film, and on the other side, a secret place where Prince Adam's hair is, and where, after his transformation, the tail and the beast mask can be kept. And here is the finished set. I know I may be a little biased because I love Lego and Disney, but this is a really beautiful set that any fan of the film, especially the animated one, will love. The building experience is great, despite having two or three more repetitive parts, but the end result is beautiful. It has an almost perfect character choice. It's a shame that there isn't a version of Belle in everyday clothes. It has a good balance between display set and play set, and for that reason it's perfect for both adults and kids. Of course, it's not perfect. The set, according to the design team, was designed to be between Snow White's cottage and the Disney castle, so that we have a castle and it's not expensive as a flagship set. And that actually happened, but in order to maintain a more or less similar shape to the reference model, it was necessary to sacrifice some iconic parts such as the rooms or some details on the exterior. Final score 9 out of 10. So, what is your opinion on this set? Are you thinking about buying it? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you Lego and the Land for sending this set for review. Opinions on it are my own. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss out on more reviews and speed builds of new releases for 2025 in the upcoming days, including the other Disney sets from March. And most importantly, play well.